My skin is black.
What you looking
My
at?
skin
Yeah,
is black.
I feel so good to be black right now.
is black.
What you look-
Welcome to episode 116 of the Black in Fashion podcast. Make sure you guys check out our Black Note series. Send in your commentary, your anything you want to share with us that you feel like you need advice on. Don't forget to also check out the IMBNF campaign. Send in your videos to talk about why you're Black in fashion. We also have a Black designer directory on our site. I am your host, my name is Collier, and today I am joined with Tatiana Hatcher of Hatcher's Eve.
Hi guys.
Tatiana, thank you for coming and joining us today. So before we start any episode, just to get you a little warmed up, we'd like to do our little icebreaker. It's called This or That. And we're gonna do a special edition for Tatiana that like I know we're gonna see. All right. Animal print or florals?
Animal print.
Flare leg or skinny leg?
Flare leg.
Damn, I know you, Tati. Crew neck or hoodie?
Crew neck.
Side boob or under boob?
Side boob.
Last one. Hoop or stud?
Hoop.
Hoop. Okay. All right. So we are going to get this podcast started off by just learning a little bit about you. So tell us a little bit about your background, where you're from, and how you got into a fashion career.
Okay, so I am Black, Trinidadian. My grandmother family is from Venezuela. My grandfather's family is from Trinidad. So I have a Caribbean background. I was born and raised, obviously, in Brooklyn, New York. Yes, Brooklyn, Crown Heights. I just feel like, my grandmother raised us in church a lot. So we grew up in church. Really church with the Nazarene, not too far from our house. And, I feel like my fashion stemmed from my grandmother. So we couldn't go outside to play a lot. So she used to have us, sewing straight lines on a brown paper bag.
That's how I learned too. Literally just sewing straight lines for your granny. So what would you say is what was your first item that you made and really made you proud?
I made jersey dresses for me and my friend Merlin. And at the time, my mom, the type of sewing machine she had, we had never seen it before because my grandmother, she had a very old sewing machine that folded up from the table.
Okay.
But my mom had bought one with a computer on the side, so it had letters that we could put letters on fabric, and I never knew that, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. So I would say that was something that I was very proud of.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your designer sense. Where do you draw inspiration from, and what does your design process look like?
I draw inspiration from the fabric I see. Colors. I love colors. I love prints. I love African fabric. I don't really know why I love African fabric, but I just do. I feel like it's definitely
from the motherland.
Yes, of course, of
From
course.
the motherland.
But I try to incorporate it within my clothing a lot. So yeah, you'll see that a lot. If you visit my Instagram page or my Facebook page, you'll definitely see a lot of African influence, African fabric there. So,
do you like to just make women's clothing, or do you feel like you kind of can go between women's and men's? Do you make kids' clothing? Where do you feel is where you like to stay, or what you like to branch out to?
I really love making women's clothing because I grew up a family full of women. So, I was making my sister's clothing, my clothes. Now that I have a daughter, I make her clothes. But I love doing women's clothing, for sure.
You have a favorite category? Do you like dresses? Do you like tops? Do you like pants? What's your favorite?
I love sets. I do sets, matching sets like crop tops and flared out pants, bell bottoms. I love bell bottoms. I also love to do wedding dresses. Oh. But my thing is I haven't done one in a while, but I love because it's adventurous for me. It's a lot of work. It's tedious work, and it's something that I do once in a blue. So I don't really do it a lot all the time. But when I do it, I love to do it because it's just very adventurous for me.
Have you ever done prom?
Yes.
How do you feel? What do you think about prom season? Like, is it something that you would still do, or is it something that you like? I can't do it. Like, how do you feel like? Because you have some designers that like they love prom season. It's like this time when they make like a whole lot of money, but then there's also people who it get stressed out from it and they don't. They're like, hell no, I'm never doing prom again. Like, so what are your thoughts on it?
Well, I currently do a lot of custom, so I'm down for doing prom dresses. I only get like 1 or 2 a year, but not really since the pandemic.
Okay. But yeah, I feel like they're just now letting them back in school. So I feel like this year is probably gonna be a really, really good year for prom because last year I know wasn't and neither was like the year before. So what are you doing now to like promote like your custom stuff?
I do a lot of reels on Instagram, sew alongs, DIYs. I love using patterns, so that's the theme, I guess, of my Instagram reels. So I take a pattern that I like either from like Mimi G or Vogue or McCall's. And if I like it, I'll, show the pattern and lay the pieces, just show my process on how I make it. So that I feel like with patterns also, sorry.
You're fine. Take your time.
I feel like with patterns also, I can manipulate them. Not when I make them myself. It's very hard. But when I buy a pattern, I can manipulate it. So like I can take another pattern from another piece and put them together to create one different piece.
Gotcha.
I don't know what that's called.
Pattern manipulation. That's exactly what you called it. Yeah, I think that's the way a lot of people do it. Like especially ones that like didn't necessarily like go to school for like pattern making or whatever. And even people who did go to like fashion design school, they still know how to pattern make. So it's not like a thing. Like I think most people was like FITs and parts are very good at design, but they don't know how to pattern make. Pattern make, you really gotta like take an interest to it to do it. So most people, I feel like they use like Mimi G and Vogue and stuff like that, and they manipulate the shit and be making like beautiful like dope ass piece. And to me, it takes more work to do that, like more creativity to be able to take things from different aspects and pull them together. So it just goes to show like how creative you are because you're able to pull things from different places and bring them together. So what made you like get inspired to like start making bags, and what does like the fits on the bag like represent for you?
Well, so I feel like every February, for these past 2 Februaries, I do just clothing inspired by Black History because that's the shortest they give us that month. So I just try to promote it that month. But I always make a drop. So I just do things with the Black Power Fist. I also have this sweater on as well, and it says "Black is beautiful" in the back.
Yes, here for it.
So this is just my fast fashion that I do, that I have fun doing. So, when I'm not sewing pieces or making reels for Instagram, I do fast fashion. So I get joggers, hoodies, sweaters, and I made one for you, or
I got
one. Yeah,
I got one.
Black Girls Big Magic.
Yeah, from the pop-up. I remember she had like a fro.
Yeah.
And is that felt on it, right?
Yeah, I used felt, and he pressed it down, and then I sewed around it. Yeah.
And so outside of like your designs like that, what do you like to do? Like, what do you do for fun? Like, what do you enjoy doing? Like, how do you see your pastime?
If I'm not spending time with my daughter, I like to go to open mics. I like to
sing.
Yes, I sing. I dance. I write poetry. Yeah.
That's a poem. I got you on the spot.
A poem?
I mean, if you want to share that, like, if people want to know where they can find you, so they can hear these poetry and these songs from the songstress that makes her own clothes.
You can find me on Instagram at hatchers.inc. You can follow me if you ever want to see me sing, hear me sing or anything. You can just follow my personal page at Tempest Sky. Yeah. Gotcha. I can't bust a poem right now because I don't memorize them. I should, but I don't.
Where are the open mics? Like, where do you go? Like for open mic nights, and I guess in Brooklyn or in Manhattan. Where do you go for open mic?
Well, this one that I go to on Mondays at 7:00 is at the Stratosphere, 227 Utica Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11213. It's at the Stratosphere.
Where is that? Is that
227? Yes, Crown Heights.
Isn't there Park and Sterling?
Between St. John's and Sterling, yes.
Oh my God, I know exactly what I used to do. I used to live on Utica in between Park and Sterling.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the first place I moved to when I moved to New York. That's where I lived. Yeah.
So you know Ethan. And that's the guy who owns the building.
No.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, no, I don't know him. But I know that area. I know what that is though, but I don't know the guy though. So what are your like long term goals? Like where do you see yourself like in the next like 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I hope to have a boutique or my clothes in a store again. It was in a store before, but I feel like I want to have it in a store like maybe in Soho or Manhattan.
Okay.
But right now I feel like I just do it. Even though like I'm really serious about it, I feel like I don't have enough time. I don't give it enough time. And now that I work at LC Apparel Consulting, I'm learning a lot of things. I'm learning like how to properly create and cultivate my line. So like I'm doing that. I want to do that. And I know that takes time and it's a process. And I feel like I understand that now and I wanted to go through the process.
Gotcha. I don't know if there is a proper way to create, especially with the way that you do this. I think it just depends on what your goals are. So, like, if you want to, have this big luxury clothing line that you want to sell in stores, then yeah, there's a proper way to do things. But if you're doing like custom work and you're doing things that like literally just come from like creativity, there is no right or wrong way to do it. It's just a way of doing it and like making it your own. Because there's a lot of designers out there that don't do the process like the way we necessarily do it. So there's no, I don't want to believe like there's like a right or wrong way. Like whatever you feel it makes you like creative to want to create and do it, then you do it. But anything, of course, always be a student in business. Anything that you can learn to enhance your skill set, absolutely. But there is 100 ways to do everything, of course. And of course, there are people who look at our stuff and tear our shit up. This is because it just depends on who it is. Like it depends on what it is. So I think that as creatives or whatever, because you get so much information from all these different aspects, or you should be doing this, you should be doing that, then we get lost in the reason why we wanted to do it in the first place. And it was always going to be fun. Like at the end of the day, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be enjoyable for you. And if you ain't enjoying it, then what's the point of doing it?
Yeah. I feel like I always enjoy it every time I do it.
Good. Okay. So tell me this. What do you think about just, I guess, the way we're shaped as Black designers and like not being very, very like prominent in the industry, and also, stores like Fashion Nova stealing like from Black designers and all type of stuff. Like, what is your current views on the fashion industry? Like, how do you feel about it? Do you even want to be in it? Because for me, I always be like, fuck the fashion industry. Like, I want to just create my own how it is. Like, I don't care about living by anyone's standards, but it's something like, no, we need to infiltrate that shit. So what are your thoughts?
I feel like I've always been that way as a designer. I've never been into the fashion world of it. I've always just been into the love of it and what I want to create. When it comes to Fashion Nova and those big companies stealing, Black designs or just other people's designs, I think that I don't want to say that I'm not trying to say that it's right, but it's predictable. Like it's predictable, right? And then there's nothing out there to help us. There's always out to help, the
people that already got money. I always see that. I see that like nonstop. Like I've been seeing all these different designers that already have it pretty made, and they out here getting the grants and the loans, and I'm like, what about?
Like what am I not doing?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what it's gonna take, what type of movement it's gonna take so that we can have those type of protections as well. But
a lot of litigation law. It's gonna be a long time before we actually get protected because we just don't have the same laws as they have like in Europe. Like they really care about designers and people's crafts and protecting them, but the U.S. today does not.
No. This is a money making company. I mean, money making country.
Yeah, definitely. What do you? Damn, I just had a great question for you. So it is fell off of my tongue. Oh, what do you think about people who are so easy to support brand name designers, but then when it comes to Black designers or, up and coming designers that they just want to talk us down off our prices. They we charging too much. And what do you think about that? Because to me, I think it's very psychological. Like you just want to keep up with the Joneses, like in my eyes. Like you just want to see because of what's on Instagram. It's just like who the fuck cares like about brands, but people really do be spending tons of money more so to meet like their status. So what do you think?
It's definitely to feed attention. They just do that so that I don't know. And then the thing about
it's
it
weird,
is,
right?
I get a lot of people that come to me and I know that they spend money on clothes, and they come to me and they're like, "Oh, I just need you to fix this for me right quick," and I'm just like, "Okay," and this is the fee, and they're like, "Oh, you gonna charge me?"
Hell yeah, I'm gonna charge you. That's crazy. That they will spend money on designer goods, but then when it comes to supporting a Black-owned business, and it's you're charging too much, or man, I thought you was gonna do me a solid or something like that. It's jacked up. I think that those people are insecure. That's just my personal opinion. I'm just like anybody who constantly feel like they have to reach out for materialistic things in order to feel validated for themselves. Insecure shit, especially people who wear fake shit. It's like, oh, you going above and beyond now. Like you paid money to buy a fake designer brand garment
just for the name.
Just for the name.
Yeah.
Like, that shit is insane to me. But it's a whole world out here, and it's crazy. It's black designers. Did you see how all these designers have shifted? Like Dior and Louis Vuitton and Gucci, like they were not urban brands, and now they super urban. Like everything they put out is like mad urban because now they realize that the Black consumer is the ones that's buying the goods. So now they definitely have catered their approach to us, and I'm just like they capitalizing off of us being insecure
once again,
wanting validation, and that shit is crazy to me. So I have this segment. It's called "Is it Success or It's a Disaster?" Can you tell me about like a time in your career, like within your journey or whatever, where something went completely to shit, like it went to hell, but you learned something from the experience and it made you maybe adopt a new practice or try something different in your business?
I'm going to say the first time I did a prom dress, this was my very first customer. It was somebody from my church. And I knew their daughter from when she was young. And she had to come for the first fitting. And when she came, it was a disaster. To the point where like the lady didn't like it, she wanted her money back, and I was like in tears. I was really crying, and I feel like from that I learned like I had to have things in place. One, I had to do my research on like what needles to use with certain fabrics, and just how to cut fabric on the grain, the correct grain, those things. So like I didn't know that at first when I had made my first prom dress when I was younger, and now that that I do, just always do my research. It just taught me that I needed to get better by doing the research.
Did you give them the money back?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
I'm sorry. I
I was like, I'm sorry.
Ain't no fucking refunds after services have been rendered.
No, I didn't know what to do. I was in tears. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. But my thing about it is my mom had told me after the fact, she was like, it was only the first fitting. You know what I mean? Like, there's other fittings to happen. You go from there. That was just your like sample piece, basically. And that's what I was saying. Like, I spoke to my mom, my aunt who lives in Texas. She sometimes I call her for advice and stuff too. So she was giving me advice about it as well. But they just told me, I had to go. I had to do my research, take some classes, and just get better.
So you are a student of the game. That's an amazing thing because some people just don't want to learn. They happy with leaving things the way they are. And I just like learning never stops at all. Like I'm still learning. I'm still trying to learn. I want to know everything. Like I want to know everything about everything. And that's always been my mentality about everything. Is because you just never know. And it gives you the ability to be able to shift. So if you get tired of doing something for a certain amount of time, you move on to something else. So I think for a time period, I was like, oh hell no, fuck prom. I can't do this, but I got to do something. Like I didn't go to school for nothing, and I didn't spend all this time. My grandmother taught me how to sew when I was young, so trying to figure shit out. So If you stay as a student, then you're constantly can pivot to do different shit all the time. So before we wrap up, it's my last segment. This segment is called It's a Muse. So is there anything that you utilize that you like to share with another entrepreneur that's like on the journey that keeps you motivated, whether it is like a mantra, an affirmation, crystals, a book, anything like that that you like, this is what has helped me just like stay motivated? A ritual? Oh.
I pray. Whenever I feel frustrated, whenever I feel, like forgotten, or I feel like I can't do certain things, I pray. I pray to God, and He always makes me feel better. It might not be right away, but
prayer is the key. When in doubt, it's time to live. All right. So thank you so much, Tatiana, for joining me. I'm glad finally got a chance to do this. I mean, this was like so long time coming.
Yeah.
We should have did this a long time ago. I don't know why I popped in my head the other day. I was like, I have not ever interviewed Tati. Like,
I don't know.
I need to interview Tati. Like, she needs to come on the show.
I've always been nervous to do these type of things. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I don't have like a push to do it, mm-hmm. You was just like, oh, I got you next Wednesday. I was like, oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but I feel like once you open up the door there, because I feel like a lot of times, like with designers or whatever, we don't ever want to be like the face of our brand, but it's just like, how else are people going to know about our brands and our businesses if they don't see us and see what we're about and see what we want to do? So it's good to like, I'll like just pop your little cherry there. And now like you'll do more things like this. But this morning I seen you on Instagram Live. Maybe not. Yeah. It was a video, so I was like 4 y'all. Y'all were talking about different things. I don't know if I was talking on your Instagram. Y'all was all sitting on the couch and you were having a conversation. It was like 4 people.
Oh yeah, that video that wasn't live. That was
okay. But this is not live. This is pre-recorded too. Like you on your live, but this won't come out until next week anyway. So it's not live. Like,
but it's about to be out there.
Yeah, next Wednesday. But thank you so much for joining me. Just want to throw out the social medias one more time so people know how to follow you, so we can come to open mic night on Monday.
Yes.
And also so they can just hit you up if they want like a custom piece. And her prices are not low, and don't try to negotiate it with her either. The price is the price. And that's the price.
Yes, That's right. You can find me on Instagram at Hatchers, HATCHERS.INC. My personal page, Tempest Guy, TEMPISTSKY. Facebook, same thing. My website is hatchersinc.com. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Tati, for joining me. As I always say, stay black. Peace out.
Bye, guys.
Bye.